Hello everyone, so we've just arrived in our Airbnb that we're going to be staying in Paris over Christmas. We've got obviously a flight from Edinburgh, and then we actually decided instead of getting an Uber from the airport into the city centre of Paris, we actually decided to go for the train and then get the metro, and it was actually really easy. So yeah, I would definitely recommend doing that if you're wanting something that's a bit cheaper to get into the city centre. So we actually got one of these Navigo passes the last time we were in Paris, and this is actually what you use to get around the whole of Paris. So you can use it on the trains, you can use it on the metros, the buses, and basically everything, and you basically just get your photo and write your name on it, and then they can actually make it up for you at, I think, any of the metro stations. As I said, we decided to get one of those passes. I think it only worked out to be around about 30 euros for the whole week. And what's great about it is that you can get the trains to and from the airport. You can also get the trains to and from Disneyland Paris, and if you were wanting to visit the Palace of Versailles, as well as all the metro trains, so it kind of covers everything, and obviously you can jump on and off as much as you want. So definitely worth the money, definitely saves on like paying for Ubers and things like that, and definitely better than paying for an Uber to the airport as well. So we're actually just not long arrived in the apartment. James is actually just having a quick shower just now, and yeah, so we're just going to get ready to go out for dinner. So I'll take you along and let you see where we're going for dinner, but I just thought I'd give you a little quick tour of the Airbnb that we're staying in. So we're staying here for 5 days, as I said, over Christmas Day. Christmas Day we're actually going to be going out for dinner, so we won't be cooking in here, but I have to say the kitchen is pretty good. So yes, I'll flip you around and let you see where we're staying. So this is as you come in from the door to the apartment. So we're actually on the 4th floor, so we're quite high up, and the first section of the apartment that you see is the kitchen. So it's a pretty well-equipped kitchen actually. We've got a lovely seating area here, and there's seats on both sides of the breakfast bar. I actually decided to make a little cup of tea when I arrived, and as you can see, it's got a hob. I don't know if it's got actually an oven underneath. I'm just thinking that. Oh no, it doesn't actually. So it's just got a hob cooking, like cooker wise, and then we've got our sink. And I'm pretty sure up here there is a microwave. Yeah, so we've got our microwave here, and then inside this big cupboard here we've got the fridge freezer, and then obviously underneath we've got, oh, I just realised that, it's a dishwasher. Oh wow, I can't remember how to open that. Yeah, so we've got a dishwasher as well, I didn't realise that. That's a nice little touch. And then, yeah, so basically in all the drawers you've got, you know, your cutlery, just what you would expect. And then in the drawers, in the cupboards, sorry, up here we've got, you know, cups and everything like that. So everything that you need for a kitchen. So from the kitchen, now we come into the main living area, and we have a nice big comfy couch, coffee table, a chair, and then TV. And then underneath, lots of storage, lots of books, and then the same over here is lots of storage. Did notice that these cupboards here are obviously being used for storing some of the stuff that the owner has, because we noticed that they've got the zip, the cable ties on them, which isn't actually the first time we've come across that in an Airbnb. And then, yeah, so there's loads of lovely little lamps and things. That's one of the things I really liked about this apartment, is that it looks very cosy with all the different lighting, the different lamps. So then over here we've got our view. So I've not actually had a look outside yet to see what it is, but that's just the street that we've got down there. Can't really see it properly. So then from our living area we actually go through here, and this is the bedroom area. So it's not a separate bedroom, but it does have this kind of separating wall which kind of, you know, separates the room apart from the living area. And yeah, we've got a nice double bed, again lots of storage over there in the cupboards, and yeah, just a nice cozy Airbnb. And then you can actually walk all the way around. So this is, as I said, the bedroom. Walk all the way around. That's the bathroom in there, but I'll show you that in a little second. And then you come back round to the kitchen and like living area, so you can kind of like loop round the whole apartment. So yeah, it's actually quite a good size for Paris. The last time we came here we actually stayed in a place that was probably about half the size of this. So now this is the bathroom of our Airbnb. So it's actually got a sliding door to get in and out, and in the bathroom we've got a walk-in shower with a one of the rainfall shower heads, as well as like the normal kind of nozzle that you can take off and use to rinse off your body and things. And it's actually one that you kind of have to step up on. It's actually got quite a big step. Then we've got our sink here with lots of storage underneath, and the mirror, and then obviously the toilet, and then more storage. And this Airbnb's actually got loads of towels, so definitely not running out of towels. And then things like ironing board, and then underneath the cupboard here there's actually a washing machine. Morning everyone. So it's the next day after we arrived in Paris. As you can see, I'm still in my Christmas jammies. So last night after we arrived and got ready and everything, had a shower and stuff, got freshened up, we actually headed back out for dinner, and we went to this place called Les Marmottes. So I'll leave the name on the screen in case I'm not saying it right. So it was a place where you could go and get like fondue, and I'm sure it's called raclette, where they have like half of a wheel of cheese, and it's on this rack with a little lamp which melts it, and you kind of scrape the cheese off as it melts, and you can have it with things like you know, bits of bread and salad and like sliced up different kinds of meat. So we decided to go for the fondue. Really recommend going there. We actually tried a fondue place the last time we were there. I can't remember what it was called though, but I would say this place was better. And we'd actually tried to get a reservation at this place last time and we couldn't get in because it was booked. So yeah, so loved there, and it had like a kind of Swiss mountain kind of Alps theme to it, which obviously goes really well with the kind of fondue, with the fondue food.
It's hard, but when you're having fun, there's a world outside your window.
And then last night after we went out for dinner, we actually came back and watched a Christmas movie just in the apartment. So we watched Daddy's Home 2 last night. So our plan for today is we're actually quickly popping out for James so they can go and get a pair of trainers. He decided he wanted to get a new pair of trainers for when we go to Disney, because I think he said he'd brought boots with him, and he's decided he'd rather have trainers for walking around the park. So we're quickly popping out to go and get those, and then we're actually going to be getting ready to head into Disneyland Paris. So yeah, so we're going to be getting the train in. I think I mentioned it yesterday that we've got one of those cards where you can just hop on and off as many times as you want, and it covers the train into Disneyland Paris as well. So I think we just need to get a metro, one of the metro trains first for a few stops, and then we get onto an above ground train, which obviously takes a bit longer. So yeah, so that's our plan for today. So the last time we caught up with you was we were just getting ready to head to Disneyland Paris in the morning. So our day in Disneyland Paris was quite a long one, quite tiring. We actually got the train into Disney. We just used the same passes that I mentioned before, the Navigo pass that we'd gotten from when we arrived here, and it was really quite easy. We just had to get the metro, a few stops, and then we changed over onto the train to get into Disneyland Paris. Then when we arrived there, the park entrance was actually right at the train station, so you don't have to walk very far at all. You're pretty much taken right to the doorstep of Disney, so that was great. So we actually decided to go into the Disney Studios park first, We spent quite a bit of time there, went on a few rides there. I'm actually going to be hopefully making a video that's a bit more in depth about what we actually got up to while we were in Disney, but I'll just kind of give you an overview of what we kind of did on this video. So we went on a few rides there. We went on the Ratatouille ride, which was actually one that I was recommended to go on, definitely worth going on, and we kind of wandered around the different areas in the Disney Studios park. So that was kind of like Marvel, there's a big Marvel area, Pixar area, and then parts that was also to do with Toy Story and things. So yeah, so that was really good, wandered around there, and they even have a little Christmas market as well, which is in the Ratatouille bit. So that part is it's meant to look like Paris, so like the streets of Paris and the buildings and everything are very Parisian looking. And then in that section there's also lots of Christmas market stalls as well.
Oh wow.
Feel that.
I know.
So after spending a few hours at the Disney Studios park, we then headed over to the main Disneyland park. So we ended up going in there just when one of the parades was finishing, so it was actually quite busy trying to get in there. There was quite a lot of people coming out at the same time as us trying to get in, but we managed to get in no problem. There wasn't any queues or anything really to get in. It was pretty quick. And then when we actually arrived at that park, it was already dark, which I have to say at this time of year for Christmas was probably the best time to see the park, because obviously all the lights were on, all the displays were all lit up, the big Christmas tree as you go in was all lit up, and it was just really, as you say, really, really beautiful. And yeah, it was definitely worth waiting until it was dark till we went into that park. So what we did when we went there is we kind of had a little wander around for a little while. We knew there was going to be a parade. The next parade was going to be around about 7 o'clock, so we kind of explored the park a little bit. We didn't go on any rides at that point, we just kind of spent our time walking around, and then we went and found a spot for the parade at around about 7 o'clock. So the parade was fantastic. I think it actually starts down the bottom, because we thought it started at the castle. So we kind of found a spot near the castle because we thought, right, we could just nip back in at the park once the parade was finished. But I think it actually starts down at the bottom of Main Street, which is down like near the entrance. But didn't take that long for the floats and things to come up to where we were. And yeah, it was definitely worth seeing. And it was just really, really beautiful, all the lights and everything, different floats and things like that. And then what we did is that when we kind of knew it was coming to the end of the parade, so the music had kind of finished but there was still floats and things going past, is we then started making our way back into the park, so through the castle, back into the park, and then we headed to the pizza place. I can't quite remember the name of it, but we headed there to get some food because we hadn't had anything for dinner yet. So yeah, so we headed there, and it was really quiet, like there was nobody there because obviously everyone was all out looking at the parade. So we headed there and got ourselves some Mickey shaped pizzas, and definitely think we timed that well, because pretty much as we sat down, everybody from the parade all then came in and it got really, really busy. And then that place for food actually closed at 8 o'clock. So that was one thing I kind of noticed afterwards. I kind of was checking the times on the app of all the different places, and I kind of assumed that because the park was open till 10 o'clock, that all the food places, all the rides, everything in the park would be open until that time as well, but they're not. So if you are going, and if you're going to be spending the whole day there, I would definitely make note of the times of different rides and the times of restaurants and things when they close, because a lot of the food places seem to close at 8 o'clock, which is obviously a good couple of hours before the park closes. And then some of the rides, they actually closed at 5 o'clock, which I was really surprised at, because to me that's quite early for some of the rides. So, or should I say some of the attractions, it wasn't so much the roller coasters, it was more things like the Alice in Wonderland maze, the big steamboat that you can get out in Frontierland, and then the sort of the train that kind of goes around the park. All those kind of things seem to close at 5 o'clock. had our pizza and things like that, we then decided to have another little wander around the main park. So this is actually where we managed to get on a couple of the rides, and so we decided to go on It's a Small World and the Haunted Mansion ride, and which I actually think the Haunted Mansion ride was probably the best ride that we were on throughout the whole day. And we didn't have to wait in any queues. I think there was less than a 5-minute wait to get on both of them. And then looking at the times for the other rides, that seemed to be the case for a lot of the other rides as well. So this was kind of like after 7 o'clock, kind of getting closer to closing time, which you would expect anyway, but it's definitely worth, if you're wanting to go and see the lights and things, maybe wait until closer to the end of the day if you are wanting to go on some of the rides, and then you don't have to wait in any queues or anything. So after we went on our last ride, which was the Haunted Mansion one, which as I said is definitely worth going on. I didn't actually realise it was a ride that you went on, I just thought it was a haunted house that you walked through, but you do actually go on like a little train thing that takes you through the Haunted Mansion, and really impressive, like the holograms and things like that for like the ghosts and stuff were amazing. So after we got off that ride, we pretty much had maybe about 5 minutes and then it was going to be the final fireworks show for like the closing, for when they close the park. So we then headed out into the sort of main sort of central part where you can see the castle and the fireworks and everything, and they do actually have 2 different shows. So they've got more of like a strobe light type show, which is more lights and things that they shine from the castle and onto the castle, and then after that they've got the fireworks show. I have to say I did prefer the fireworks show. I thought that was more impressive because you had the fireworks, there was fire and everything coming up from at the side of the castle, as well as all the fountains and everything like that. So that was a lot more impressive, I would say, than the strobe light show. Like, don't get me wrong, it still looked good, but I definitely think the original fireworks show is definitely the better show out of the 2. So after the final fireworks show, we then obviously headed home, and just like how we got into the park, we decided to take the train home, which was pretty easy. Was very busy though, that's the only thing, so we didn't actually really get a seat all the way home. We had to stand, and it's about a half-hour train journey from the park into the station that we were kind of heading into in Paris, but didn't seem to take that long, and it wasn't rammed as in people weren't like crammed in, it was just really, really busy. I do actually think there is quite a few trains after the park closes, so the park closes about 10, and I'm sure there's trains maybe every, I want to say 15 minutes for coming home, and they do run quite late, so I think there is trains even after 11:30. So I think if you don't want to get one of the first trains home, you can kind of hang around a little bit and then maybe get one later, and it would maybe be a bit quieter. And then after going on our main train home, we then just jumped on the metro and then got our way home, and then I think we didn't get home though until about midnight. So it was quite a long day, quite tiring, but it was definitely worth it, seeing all the parades and the fireworks and everything at the end of the day. Also managed to get my mini ears that I was wanting to get, when I ended up going for these, just the classic sort of sparkly ones with the red bow. I was actually on the lookout for, I'd seen online that they had a pair of gold ones, but I could only find the silver ones, so I ended up just going for the black and the red because I thought these would be a bit more classic, so I could wear them like whenever we went, if we ever visited Disney again in the future. So this is a little outfit of the day for Christmas Day. So I decided to go for my burgundy kind of cropped bralette, and then wore my black wool wide leg trousers, so something quite casual with elastic waistband, so plenty of room for Christmas dinner. Everything that we got up to yesterday, which was Christmas Eve. So today is actually Christmas Day, and we're not long home from having our Christmas dinner. So we actually booked a restaurant called Bouillon Julien, which is just around the corner from our Airbnb that we're staying at, so it's really convenient. So we booked that quite a few months ago actually, kind of when we booked our accommodation and our flights and everything. We booked everything kind of around about the same time, and they actually have a set Christmas menu. So their Christmas menu is only, you get 3 courses, starter, main, dessert, and it's only €38. So much more affordable than back home in the UK. I think you'd probably be paying double that if you were wanting to get your Christmas dinner in a restaurant on Christmas Day. So for my starter, I ended up having a shrimp and avocado kind of salad type. Well, it wasn't just a salad, it was like kind of smashed avocado with shrimp, which was really nice. And then James, he ended up having I think it was pate, but it had pastry around it. Then for our mains, James had some beef, and I had chicken supreme, which was like chicken with mushroom sauce and mushrooms and mashed potato. And then for our desserts, James had the profiteroles, and it was like a hazelnut chocolate log type cake thing with like cream. And yeah, so really, really yummy, really affordable, and inside the restaurant is absolutely beautiful as well. So it's actually I think it was established in 1902 or 1906, so really, really, it's pretty old, but it's Art Nouveau like decor inside, and it's all the original Art Nouveau style. So there's lots of like cornicing up at the ceiling, all the lights, like the ceiling's got glass in it, all the lamps, like all the sort of decor inside is all original Art Nouveau. And then there's like these big portraits on the walls, like in between there's like big mirrors, and then in between each mirror there's these big portraits of the Art Nouveau like women with the the long flowing hair, which is like quite typical of that style. So it was definitely a very really pretty, really beautiful restaurant to have our Christmas dinner in. So the plans for the rest of our Christmas night is we're actually going to have a bit of a movie night. So we're going to watch Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2, so that's our plans for today. And then tomorrow, Boxing Day, we're actually going to head out and do a little bit of shopping, and then later on in the day we're then going to go and see some of the different spots for Christmas lights. So I think the plan is maybe to go along the Champs-Élysées and around those kind of areas to see all the Christmas decorations and all the Christmas lights that they've got out.
Dead kid.
So we're just getting ready to head out to do a little bit of shopping in the Marais area of Paris, and this is my outfit that I thought I'd wear today. So on the top I've got a chenille jumper with like wide sleeves and a polo neck, and underneath I've got a little top just for a bit extra warmth, and then on the bottom I've got my white or cream wide leg trousers with the little turn up. These are just from Hollister. So yeah, we're just getting ready.
And I've got on a Abercrombie waffle shirt. Well, not shirt, it's more like a t-shirt.
Long sleeve t-shirt, yeah.
And Sons, which is a great brand for guys, by the way. And Sons jeans, pair of Nike Airs.
That you just bought the other day.
My lovely Moscot's glasses.
Which you got the last time we were here as well.
And my, obviously,
your lovely watch.
Amiga Seamaster.
Very nice.
You better not edit me out.
No, I won't. I won't edit you out. Yeah, so the plan is we're going to go out and do a little bit of shopping, and then head back, drop off anything that we get, and then we're going to go and head out again and have a look around the Louvre area where they've got the Christmas markets, and the Champs-Élysées, just to have a look at the Christmas lights when it's dark. So that's what our plan is for today. And then the finished outfit with my jacket on as well. Cool. Let's get going. So one of the things that I love about shopping in the Marais area in Paris is they have so many different vintage shops. So we had a little look around this one, which had lots of NFL jackets, and as well as like jumpers and t-shirts and things like that. Then we also popped into this other shop called Le Cartel, and we ended up buying a couple of things out of here. So I got a hat, James ended up getting a shirt, and we actually got a free bottle of wine as one of the offers for Boxing Day shopping. So after doing a little bit of shopping, we then went and got some food at this cafe. I'm not sure how to say the name, but I'll pop it on the screen. So we ended up getting quiche. So I got a goat's cheese quiche, and I think James ended up getting one that had smoked salmon in it. And I also got one of these hot chocolates, so you actually make up the hot chocolate yourself, so you're given like hot milk, sort of chocolate, sort of melted chocolate, and then whipped cream, and then you actually, you know, pour it all together yourself. So after dropping off our shopping back at the apartment, we then headed back out and it's decided to jump on the metro to the Champs-Élysées. So we actually had a little look around the Arc de Triomphe first, but I'll show you that in a little second. And then we had a wander around the Champs, looking at all the different lights, looking at the stores, especially the Louis Vuitton store and the Dior store. Then we actually decided to take the little tunnel that you can walk through that actually goes underneath the Arc de Triomphe, and you actually come out on the other side, which was a way better spot for some pictures. So we then jumped back on the metro for a couple of more stops and got off nearer to the Louvre. So near there's actually a big square, which I'm just showing you just now, which has lots of designer shops. And here is a fantastic spot for some great pictures and videos of all the Christmas lights. We then decided to have a little look around the Louvre area, got some nice pictures and videos here as well, and you could actually see the Eiffel Tower off in the distance. And then we crossed over the river, got some nice videos and things here as well, and we were actually heading to a restaurant on the other side of the river for some dinner. So we decided to go to a restaurant called Les Antiquaries. We've been there before the past couple of times that we've been to Paris, and it's one that we have keep on coming back to. So we ended up getting some snails to kind of share as a starter. James got some octopus and I got some pasta. So I just wanted to jump in here and kind of round off our Paris vlog. So as you can see, we're actually back home now. That was our last day that I kind of finished off our last night heading out for our meal. So the following day we actually had pretty early flights, so we had quite an early night, got up the next day and basically headed home. So thank you so much for watching our Paris vlog. As I said earlier on in the video, there should be a later video coming out pretty soon, more about our trip to Disneyland on Christmas Eve. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!